Alright guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video and podcast. At the time of this recording is May 4th. Happy May 4th, Star Wars Day. Fortunately, Athens not here. He'll be back within a month, so it'll be good to have him back in our arms and graces. But as you can see in today's title, thumbnail, all of that, we got another review. Maul Shadow Lord just wrapped up here on May 4th, so it's still fresh in my mind. I will say we've got some more notes from Afton today, but he hasn't seen the finale yet. So he's seen everything up to episode 8 and through, but not the last two episodes. So I'll give you his point of view, his review, but just keep in mind it's not a complete review. So all of that being said, we'll get right into his thoughts, and then I'll get into my thoughts, and we'll give everything at the end. He said, "Great season. Holy crap, animation is great and very smooth. Thank you, Dave Filoni, for existing. Maul is a fan favorite, and even if we're going to get a spin-off character, he was a good choice. This feels similar to Andor with the investigating and exploratory part of it, and I really like how they conveyed everyone's fear of the Empire. Sam Witwer is freaking awesome, but that's not necessarily new news. Not sure how it ends, obviously, but Marok from Ahsoka as an Inquisitor was also great. I'm hoping it's left open-ended because the second season would be sick. Not sure what I'd rate the season because I'm not done with it yet, but I'm thinking 8 to 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, so you can see he pretty much enjoyed everything all the way through. I'll say something I obviously didn't know. Season 2 is already confirmed. I think they're already working on it. If I'm not saying what we're confirmed, they've already started the voice acting and all that stuff. So that's awesome. And obviously, if you see the finale, it's pretty obvious where they're going with that. I gotta say, I really, really enjoyed it. Bringing up my notes here, it was overall very glowing for me too. I think the finale is also, if Alton hasn't seen the finale, he's missing a big part. I think the finale is the best part of the show. All the characters, I gotta say, I pretty much liked all the characters in this show, from the Jedi Master Daki and Padawan Devon to the officer sergeant or Captain Lawson and his son Riley, to Two Boots, to all the criminals like Vario and obviously Maul and his syndicate, even Dryden Voss showing up kind of towards the end. All the characters. There wasn't a character who I thought was overplayed. Like Reva in Kenobi was one of those characters that just they tried to really shine this character, and it kind of stole the spotlight from some other characters we wanted. I didn't feel like any of that happened in this series, or there was any just poorly written characters. I feel like this season overall was really, really good with the character writing. Overall, I thought the plot was fine. I didn't think it was this super crazy inept, deep plot. I wouldn't compare it to Andor like Afton one necessarily. I compare it more to the Bad Batch or any of the other Clone Wars Rebel stuff. It's up there. It's not bad. It's not outstanding, but it's not lacking really. It's like a Star Wars. It's like a typical animation Star Wars, but they've never been bad in my opinion. And the finale rocks. The finale really sets up. I don't want to say the plot is slow, but I think without the finale, the overall flow of the season would be a little bit slower. But you could kind of tell they were building up, and that was kind of the whole idea. I think the finale was very much acceptable and more. Overall, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10, maybe close to an 8. I think the animation was fine. I don't think the animation was glowing. There's some parts of the animation with the characters I thought was beautiful, but then there's the environment and the setting overall. Sometimes it's just too artsy for me. You could tell it was I don't know what kind of art it was drawn in, but it's very much I don't know. It's just not my favorite. But I thought I didn't think it looked bad at any point. Invincible, I think, has really bad animation points. I didn't think Maul had bad animation points. Overall, the show was fun. Definitely excited for season 2. Vader is awesome. I'm spoiling a little bit there at the end. I'm not going to do too much, but I'll just say I think they portray Vader perfectly, much like Jedi Survivor does. Even Fallen Order. Vader is supposed to be this guy. When he shows up, it's like a oh crap moment. Similar to Rebels with Kanan and Ezra. And I think this show brilliant. I loved Vader in this. So that was awesome. Excited for Devin to become possibly Darth Talon. I really like that. A lot of these, and I'm just going to get it out of the way. There's these, obvious political agenda is kind of, I wouldn't say push, but you could see there's those ideas put out there. Reva's a big character that just seemed like she was this super buff female character, but her story wasn't great. She got stabbed by a lightsaber twice and survived twice, right? Like these moments in Star Wars with these certain characters, you're like, why is this the character they're pushing? Like to so much of the point, like it's kind of going against the story and the canon of the universe. I didn't get that feeling at all. I thought Devin was perfect. I loved the way she was portrayed. I love her slow turn to the dark side. I think she's fun. I think she's cool. I love Devin. I think she reminds me of a little bit of Ahsoka without so much of the sassiness. But I really really liked her character, and I'm really excited to see where she goes with Maul. Obviously going forward, I'm very excited about Maul and the crime syndicate storylines. We see in Solo he's kind of a partner to line leading. I don't remember exactly how it's portrayed, but the Crimson Dawn, he's part of that. So we're seeing like the beginning parts of that in Maul, and I'm really excited to see how it keeps going and ties into the story down the road, right? Where we see him in Solo and where we see him in Rebels and where we see him in Clone Wars, very, very different points in his story. And I think Maul is doing a good job of kind of tying all those little things together. Vario, obviously I think he's going to tie into that. I don't think they would have kept him alive if he wasn't. So all that stuff was very, very cool, and I like where it's going. My biggest criticisms are probably, for lack of better words, the power scaling. Maul is really, really cool. This show is about him, but I feel like he struggles in this show a lot. And I know part of it's kind of explained. He gets his mechanical legs malfunction. He gets cut, gets stabbed in his mechanical legs. So like his agility is going to be affected because of it. And I definitely get that. But like Maul is, part of my language. He's badass. He takes on Sidious for a second with Savage, albeit, but he takes him on, right? He takes on 2 Jedi with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and if it wasn't for his own arrogance, he would have handled it perfectly fine, right? This guy is a very skilled lightsaber duelist, and it felt like these Inquisitors were kind of handling it. And I would say he did fine with Vader. I think he should struggle against Vader. But even there at the end, it was like he was afraid, and it's like Maul doesn't fight like that. Look at him in the Clone Wars season 7 against Ahsoka. Look at him in, like I said, Phantom Menace. Look at him in Clone Wars season 5. It's just a very different Maul to me. Even in Rebels, right? Maul doesn't look like he's afraid of the Inquisitors or he needs to run and hide. He takes them on, and I just felt like that was kind of a weird. I know what their intentions were, but it just seemed weird for the show to focus on Maul and him to like sometimes be struggling against characters he really shouldn't be. Was always weird to me, but it's not something that holds it back too much. It's something I kept noticing. I'm like, he's struggling more than I usually see him struggle. And the Inquisitors are cool, but like, why are they like now like more powerful than we've ever seen them? Like the character that we see Marak, we see in Ahsoka, he gets turned into a fart dust easily by Ahsoka, right? But now he's in Maul and he's handling biz. It's like, okay, so you're telling me Ahsoka's that much better than Maul, that Ahsoka deals with him super easily, but Maul is struggling? That just seems weird. It's either the power scaling for Maul or for the Inquisitor is just way off, right? Same thing with the other Inquisitor. I don't remember his name, but we see him in Tales of the Jedi, and Ahsoka kills him, right? It's kind of, I think, the same like story beat from the Ahsoka book, where the Inquisitor comes to the planet where Ahsoka's hiding, and she kills the Inquisitor without even using a lightsaber. But this Inquisitor shows up, and he's dealing with a Jedi Master, a Jedi Apprentice, Maul, and he's like not only holding his own, but he's making an advance. And it's like, how come we've never seen these Inquisitors this powerful? Even the Grand Inquisitor isn't as powerful as these 2 Inquisitors were in this show. So it was just weird. Again, like I don't know if power scaling is the right word, but like that, it just feels weird how much more powerful they seemed in this show compared to any other time we've seen them. And same thing with Devin. Devin was really cool, but sometimes she seemed more capable than Maul in a lightsaber duel, which again just seems weird, right? Again, a show based on Maul. The biggest complaint I have is the power scaling, right? I don't think they need to be one-sided, and that's not what I'm saying. It's just these are characters for the most part, all of them besides Devin and the Master, we've all seen lightsaber duels and seen them in combat before. Even if it's brief with Inquisitors, we've seen it. And now it's just like they're completely different characters, and it's a little weird, it's a little strange. Again, I don't think it holds the show back too much, but it is something that I noticed. And if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan that you've been keeping up with these Star Wars shows for the years, I think you might notice it too. But if you're just like, maybe a casual, I don't think it's going to bother you at all. You'll enjoy it. It shouldn't hold back anything. It's still good though. I really enjoy this series. I'm really excited for season 2. I really like where they're going with it. Overall, it's a good show. I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of the Clone Wars and the Clone Wars era, right, with Rebels, Bad Batch, Clone Wars. This is perfect. It fits right into that. You're gonna really enjoy it. If you just like really cool Sith and lightsaber fighting, you're gonna really enjoy this too. So overall, I really liked it. I loved everything about the show. Like a lot of things I have to mention, the Empire being menacing and like this overlording government is perfect. That's exactly how they should be portrayed, and I think Dave Filoni did an excellent job with that. I loved Vader, and I loved a lot of different aspects about this show. So like I said, 7.5 to 8 out of 10. A well-enjoyed show. I definitely would recommend it. Go give it a try on Disney+. With all that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments if you guys liked it, didn't like it, agree with our takes, all of that. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Peace.